Oh, there you, wait, hold on. I think, oh, you're in now. Okay. Man, it is hot. I'm hot in here now. Uh, all right. How are you guys feeling today?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
I know we talked already, Jordan, this morning. Um, and then Abby, if you're like, you just want how are you feeling today, Abby? If you can let me know.
Oh, good.
Good. I just like to hear your voice. Okay. So, okay, well, welcome to the first one. This is of the prep call of From Wounded to Wild. If you haven't actually joined, it's okay yet. This is just going to give you kind of an idea of what we're going to talk about each week. If this would be really something for you. If not, again, it's 111 to do all of the 6 weeks that will actually start like next Saturday, or the 333 to do the 9 one-on-one calls plus this bonus thing. And this is really just like the beginning of, it's like the beginning of everybody's journey, going from our wounds, like being like very aware of them, especially like judgment, right? Fear of rejection, all of those wounds. We're going to go through those next Saturday. We're going to go through like the 5 most prominent wounds that we're always, doing shadow work with. So we'll do some shadow work next Saturday just to start at the beginning. So if you've been doing this work for a while, I just want to say that, like, it doesn't matter how long we've been doing this work. It doesn't matter when it doesn't matter. We're human and we deal with human things. So nobody is like farther along. Like, this is one thing that I say in my meditation, or like at the in-person at Turning Point. I have a lot of people come in there that are like, oh, I've already done this work. Like, I don't need this or whatever. Or, oh, I need something more advanced, which, by the way, this is going to get a little bit more advanced towards the end, like the last 2 weeks, which again, I'll tell you guys here in a minute what those are going to look like. But we all have to come back to basics sometimes, right? And that's what we're really going to be doing the first 2 weeks. And so today it's the prep call. It's just to create the container, right? With a container, we need that masculine energy, right? Of the safety, the feeling safe to be vulnerable. That is where healing happens. That's what drew me to doing this work. So like, therapy is amazing. Don't get me wrong. However, something that I continue to see in therapy at where I work too, and I just talked about this with the therapist on Thursday in our clinical meeting, was they've had people coming to them for an entire year and they're still in the same place, okay? Sometimes, right? And I know it's an individual process, but for me, I'm like, there's no way I could work with somebody for a year and them be exactly where they were a year ago. So in coaching, it's more of it's a little bit more, it's not, I don't say aggressive, but like empowering, right? We're going to cut the bullshit. There is going to be triggers that come up. You're going to get pissed. You might not want to even like me anymore. But it's all with love. And that's what this call is about, is like to create that container. Now, as far as like the options go, again, because I've had a couple of people message me about this, of like, okay, so the 111 is just for the group coaching for over the summer, right? And it's just, you have these calls every Saturday for the next 8 weeks. Well, we have an integration week in between. So like next week we'll start the first module, and they'll have modules in RYS for you to go in and watch it. And then the next week we'll go over the content and do all the coaching together, okay? About that one specific topic. So you'll get all of that for 111, or you can just pay $30 4 times. Like, there's payment plans, or if you do the 333, you get this plus like 9 one-on-one sessions with me. It's insane. So that's the difference. And what I'm finding is some people just want to see what coaching is about. They just want to know what this space can help them with. And that's great to do the group coaching thing only. But if you want more to do deeper work and you want to do more one-on-one, then the 333, which that also has payment plans also. I have people that do many different things because one time I couldn't afford to work with this coach anymore. And so she just completely like dropped me. And it was the worst feeling. I'm just like, no, I don't want you guys to ever feel that way. However, if I don't, because this is what I've been working on, I'm like, if I don't require some sort of investment, then it's kind of just, we don't put as much in it, right? When we have skin in the game, we're like, I'm going to fucking be there, right? Like I have spent thousands of dollars. You guys all know here how much I spend every month on coaching, or at least I know Janelle knows. And it's changed my life. Like it has literally changed the way I show up in my life. I mean, you guys see it. And I've been doing this for a year and a half consistently every month because I'm making more all the time as well. And it's just because we open up this energetic space for more abundance and for it to flow in. And when we clear out the clutter, right, the first 2 weeks of this program, we're clearing out the clutter of things and replacing it with new programs. So you're going to bring in new codes and release the ones that aren't serving you anymore. So the first 2 weeks are going to be about the wounds, right? The really becoming awareness of our wounds, who we are, your identity. Then going in the second week to the healing of those wounds, right? And really practicing forgiveness, the compassion, and then reframing our stories. Once the ones that we find in the first week. We're also going to do some soul retrieval and soul tracking. I know we've talked a little bit about that, but the first 2 weeks are really about retrieving things that we have broken off. And the second week, it's about how do we track those things moving forward? How do we continue showing up in our life from this frequency and not allow other people to bring us back down, right? And it's how do we keep track of those parts once we bring them back in, right? And then we'll have an integration week, right? So you'll have those 2 weeks to really integrate the work that we've done those first 2 weeks. Then the second 2 weeks are going to be about the soul lessons and wisdom, right? The soul lessons that you have learned to really get clear about, okay, I have signed that, I've fulfilled that soul contract. What specifically have I fulfilled? And what are what's the wisdom that's come from that? And now what is spirit, or what is my soul guiding me to do with this information, right? And I know, Janelle, you're already kind of in this space of where you've went through those first. Now you're like, I'm ready to do something with this. And that's where Janelle is right now. So we'll hear her story that week during that, because it's really amazing. And then the second week of that is about connecting, like really getting close in our relationship with spirit, like our spirit team, how to ask our intuition and spirit team things specifically, then how do we receive that information? What does it look like for us specifically? Like each of us have unique ways of communicating with our guides and accessing our gifts. And if we're a starseed or a lightworker or more earthy, or we're all different here. I know all of us here right now have different energies already. I've already felt all of your energies and the things that you're really drawn to and the things that you're really wanting to do. We're not all supposed to be wanting to do the same things, right? So it's really about cleaning up those beliefs around spirit, around having a spiritual connection. And of course, we're going to be going up through the chakras, right? We're always going to be using the chakras as a guide. So the first 2 weeks is the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, right? The second 2 weeks are the lower heart, the upper heart, and the throat. And then the last 2 weeks are the third eye and the crown, if that's how you would like to think of it, right? It's really, we're just using these as a guide, as we always do in the Soul Relaunch. That's just how it is. And then the last 2 weeks, we're going to get into your unique gifts and like what it is that you specifically came here to do, like from your lessons and your wisdom, it's going to lead us to the specific thing of like, okay, what is it I'm here to, the gifts I'm here to bring? And how can I build up the confidence to to do those things without the fear of rejection, going back to those wounds from the first 2 weeks where we'll work on clearing those again before we end this group program of like making sure that you leave here with those outcomes of feeling confident in your abilities and having a plan, right? Like having a plan. That's the thing with coaching is like you have a plan to keep you accountable and who is going to hold you accountable to do what you say you're going to do. I wouldn't do this if I didn't have somebody keeping me accountable sometimes. I totally was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. I wish I had more people in it. But I'm like, wait a minute, that's being attached to the outcome. I think another result of this work is clearing clearing the clutter, right? And coming from a clean energy, like a clean energetic foundation. And I just found something that I wrote about that. When we're coming from a clean place, it means that we're not trying to prove anything to anyone. Okay, we're taking action without ulterior motives or attachment to the outcome. So when I had that thought of like, I don't have enough people, I don't know if I want to do this, right? I was attached to the outcome, and that meant that I was going to keep everything that I want to share with everybody away from you guys. And as soon as I thought that, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, but that's our ego and that's our wounded child, right? That rejection or, how is this going to make me look and blah, 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 right? All of those thoughts come in. We're detached from the outcome. We release all expectations for what needs to happen, right? And then we take spiritually aligned action, which is backed by service, love, and joy always. So when you're taking spiritually aligned action, there is no way that things can go wrong ever. Like, and my coach has to she continuously reminds me of this. I will remind all of you of this, that when we're questioning what we're doing or we're in our head, because I can be in my head a lot. I'm very airy. And so I have to bring it back down and ground and like, wait a minute, I'm coming from service, joy, and love and inspiration. Nothing can go wrong with this. Okay. Do you guys have any questions or anything real quick before I go on with anything? Okay. All right. So next, in this prep call, again, we're creating this container. What are some of the reasons, like when you guys start something, why do you not finish it? I'd love to hear some thoughts on that. If you're, think of a time when you have started something, but you didn't finish it. Like why is that? What seems to happen? Anything.
Mm.
Life.
Wow.
Life
Addiction.
sometimes. Huh?
Addiction.
Addiction. Okay. Yeah. So really like life situations happening where we're like, oh, I can't do that now. Or our kids get something happens with our kids, or we start to just think of okay, this isn't me. I'm not somebody who finishes something. Or if anybody that used to be my story of I'm not, I start a lot of things in that solar plexus, right? Or sorry, in the sacral. I have a bunch of ideas, but then when I started to take action on them, it was like, I just stopped or I didn't take action, right? Because then all those thoughts came in. Are you on your porch, Janelle?
Yes, I'm on my cabana.
Your cabana. Was that your dude that was bringing a
Yeah,
drink?
that was my cabana boy.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, so Janelle, okay, let's talk about some things that keeps us showing up. How do you keep showing up? What's helped you the most? I mean, as far as you know, showing up to do work that you've never done before?
I want to be an inspiration to others. Girl, my sober squad
Oh,
is awesome.
yes. Yes. I can't wait to hear about that in
I have
week 3.
15 in it. I have 15
Oh
women
my
in there,
gosh. That's amazing.
and
Yes.
we are all helping each other. That's what keeps me showing up.
Okay. Yeah.
They inspire me. They say I'm inspiring them, and we're all in this together on this wonderful journey. And
Mhm.
it's awesome. My heart is overflowing with
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
would you
get
say
chills.
it was when I mean, so really it's when we're not focused on ourselves anymore. I mean,
Right.
now there's a balance though, right? There's a balance between we do need to focus. We need to make sure that we're clear, our energy is clear, which is what I'm one of the codes that you guys will be getting to have that clean energy when you show up to do something. That's, but also being attached to if I don't show up, and this is a good question or a thought if you guys want to borrow this of like who who will continue suffering if I don't show up, or who won't get this information if I don't show up. And I remember for myself in the beginning it was about just controlling the thoughts, and when I would hear about a mom killing herself, okay, committing suicide, it would really cause this shift within me. And I did multiple, like I went through a lot of my lives, and there were a couple where I would tell you guys about it and it would just bring me to tears, because I'm like, if she would have known that she could that those thoughts are not all facts, and if she had taken her power back from her mind and her stories, she wouldn't have killed herself, because her daughter went to live with her husband. I mean, it was something where her child wasn't going to live with her anymore. And I have felt that before. So this is what we're going to do in I think it's week 3 and 4 of those stories that like that, where it connects you with your purpose of like, okay, and not that I've never been suicidal, right? But I do know what it feels like to believe every thought in my head, that everything is true, that everything is etched in stone that I was taught to believe, right? I know what that feels like, and it feels awful and depressing, right? So that's just an example of what we're going to do in week 3, okay? Of really bringing out those stories, okay? And then week 6, it's all about telling your story, right? And story, basically being a badass storyteller and how you can start to teach, right? And to teach other people or hold space. That's really what we're going to do in week 2 and 3 and 4 of how to hold space for ourselves and others. But then it's like it's really like, how can I show up as a leader and a leader for myself, and then a leader for other people. And if right now you're not resonating, like, okay, that's not really what I want, um, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing, right? We're all trying to lead ourselves in the like in alignment. And that's really what all this is about, right? Is really getting into alignment. So it'll be our relationship with ourself is what we're going to be working on the first 2 weeks, then our relationship with spirit, or with soul, spirit, then the second 2 weeks. And then the third is our relationship with desire and story, right? Our relationship with desiring more, or the abundance. And all through that, I mean, we'll be working on our abundant mindset, our growth mindset, getting out of the lack and shifting our energy over to expansion and calling in more abundance. And so, okay, so today, I'm going to show you guys, well, so I wanted to show you guys something here. Hold on. Let me see if I can, since I'm not on Facebook, and that's completely fine. It's okay. I didn't get to do that. Um, I'm going to work on that this week. Hopefully by next week I will, because I want to have a pop-up group for us so you guys can talk and like I want you guys to whatever happens, or whatever relationships and connections need to be made amongst you guys, I want to facilitate that for you guys. Hold on, oh, here we go. Share screen. let me see. I just want to show you this real quick of just a tool. And then we're going to do an energetic, I call it an energetic transmission. It's like a meditation, energy clearing. And it's going to be about with our chakras. So if you guys need to, I mean, it's going to be about 20 minutes, probably 15 to 20 minutes. And this is really to create that space within ourself to hold this or to show up like this for the next 8 weeks. How the heck, why can I not see my stuff? Like I can't see behind this thing right here. Hold on, let me stop this real quick. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Let me do it. I really wanted, this is what I went through. That's what I went through over there. I don't want to go through that again. Hold on. So I wanted to teach you guys about the core 5 because it's something that's gonna really help you guys through this program of doing it every day, of like really and what it is, it's about actually, you know what? I just did something else. Hold on. It's about, so the core 5 are 5 skills that I see over and over and over with everybody, like any client I've ever worked with, and even any coach I've worked with personally, like, you know, me investing in a coach, like they use these 5 skills in everything. Like we're constantly using these 5 skills to get back into alignment. Like there's no way when you don't use these skills. And I think Abby has probably heard me talk about them many times. Janelle, I'm sure you have. Jordan, I think you have possibly too. It's something I do talk about a lot, but it's just, they're so important. Like it's crazy how like it's crazy how it just is all. So these 5 skills. So the 5 skills are, right, intention. So like when we're not being clear or specific about something of why we're doing something, okay? And you guys will get this in your which is what I was trying to bring up here, was the paper that I'm going to give you, or the workbook that I'm going to give you guys. Just to kind of go over them real quick, and then we'll go into the energetic transmission here that I want to take you guys through. Here we go. Let me go back here now. Maybe. Hopefully it's gonna work here. Maybe not. If not, I'll just freaking, oh, here we go. I think I did it. Okay. So real quick, I'm just going to take you guys through this real quick because I know I'm like, I want to do this energetic thing here. Okay. So the core 5 is, so it's aligning with our higher self. So whether you've started your healing journey or have been in it for a while, there are 5 core skills that will help you reconnect with and stay connected with higher self every time you fall off. Literally every time you feel disconnected. And to feel disconnected is to be in your wounds, right? Is to feel rejection, is to feel depression when you're depressed and you're just like, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to show up and do this. I don't have any motivation. Or, you know, let me know, you guys, if you want to either type in the chat or you can pop off, you know, your thing of like, what do you feel like when you're disconnected? I kind of would like to hear that real quick. Jordan, what do you feel like when you're disconnected?
I feel like I'm not me. I just really don't. I feel like I'm disconnected, right? Like ever since. So it's been a long time. Like I'm
Like,
not connected with my higher self.
okay.
Um, I just don't feel like I'm me.
Okay. So like since you were at turning point, right? And that I think like, is this true as far as you feeling like you need closure, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that, and I like that disconnection of, from your higher self. So when we need closure from something, by the way, you guys, we're creating this container. There is no good or bad. We're not judging anything. Nothing is wrong or right. This is all information, okay? Which is what I'm going to kind of in this core 5, like when we start to feel disconnected. So like you're like, I need closure. Well, why do we need closure? Because we feel like we want to know why something happened. Why were we rejected? Basically, why were we treated as if, or in our mind, treated as if we're not important anymore to this person, this place, whatever. We want to know. So when we're connected, we feel we don't need closure, right? We don't have a desire for closure because we trust that um we did all that we could do. We were doing the best that we can, and whatever happened wasn't about anything like, and sometimes we want to know because we want to know, like, it's different if we're wanting closure from a place of curiosity. And that's also in the core 5. This is why I teach on the core 5, because this will get you out of disconnection every time. It takes you from this place of ego and fear into this place of love and um, love and connection, right? So because the reason why I'm hesitating is like, I don't want anyone to think that we're like gonna walk around like, oh, I do nothing wrong. I do nothing wrong. It's all everybody else. It's their problem. It's not mine. No, like that's not what this is about, because that's how we find what our wounds are that are ready to come up to be healed. And I think that's what was happening for you, Jordan.
Mhm.
I know that's what was happening. Okay. It wasn't
Okay.
about, it was wounds coming up to be healed and inner storylines that were ready to be rewritten. Which is why, like, honestly, this is a great place for you to be and in this space, because there's nothing other people can give us. So for me, my wound that I healed when I needed closure was the wound of rejection, right? And my storyline became, I'm going to be happy anyway, regardless if other people think that I am not enough or whatever. Like, I am going to be happy anyway. And it really had, like, I'm going to work on these things within myself, but I'm not going to dwell on them. So it's about being curious of like, okay, well, why was I, but not making it mean anything about us. There we go. I was trying to find my words. Instead of making it mean that we're a failure, oh, I was fired, so I'm a failure, we just start to say, okay, I'm going to be curious about what happened there, but I know that I'm still amazing and a badass, and I'm going to carry whatever lessons I'm going to learn from there over into the next chapter of my life. So the core 5, intention, right? If we don't know where we're coming from, if we're just coming from wherever everybody else wants us to come from, then of course we're disconnected, right? So where are we coming from? Why do we do what we're doing? And intention is something that we do. We're doing something on purpose. And this is really what this whole program is going to like be teaching us, is that to live life on purpose, right? And with intention. And so it's, how do we direct our energy? Again, it's like, I will feel what today, right? That's an intention. Or I will feel confident in this meeting today. Or I am putting on this program with the intention of empowering anyone that comes in it, right? That's my intention for this program, one of them. The second one is we have to be able to relax. We have to be able to relax. There's something that happened in meditation last week that was a perfect example of this. I won't go into all the details. I won't tell the story because I want to get into this meditation energy thing. But at the in-person meditation this week, Janelle was there, so that's why she's smiling. There was a person that was there, and he is there quite often. Well, he is physically there. But he came in, he sat down, he's talking about how he wants to start to facilitate in-person or whatever at this place, this facility. And he goes on to try to, like I said, that we were going to meditate and we were going to connect with our higher self. And then we were going to have time to talk afterwards. Right. And I wanted us to connect from that higher place. And he was like, well, why not afterwards we think of a negative thought and then we turn it around into a positive. And Shelby was like, that's a recovery circle. Like, that's not what this is, which I was very thankful she said that, because my stuff is not a recovery circle. That's not what that is. So he's all talking about this, that, whatever. Well, then we start to meditate and he gets up and leaves. He just gets up and leaves when we start to meditate. When he was talking about, my point is here, it was one, it was very disrespectful, but two, he was making comments throughout the class of like, how is being an empath a gift? And he's been doing this work for a while. And so I was like, if he could just relax, right? Because he said that's why I can't relax. If you could relax, your whole entire life changes. It's just fucking crazy how different things are once you can just let go of your attachment to all the stuff. Okay. So I know Abby teaches yoga. So I know that Abby, which I'm not sure, I don't know if she can unmute or not, but like of how being able to like relax through your life and in the moment when you're feeling like tense and stressed, having a practice of some sort, if it's meditation or yoga or whatever, something to bring you back, which that's what the Soul Relaunch, what the space I want it to be, is a place for you guys to go to relax, because stress causes our mind and body to tense up. Tensing up creates energy blockages that end up manifesting as physical ailments and emotional outbursts, right? So this is why relaxation is key to self-healing. If you cannot let go, you cannot heal. It just can't happen. So what does it mean to let go? It means to surrender control, right? And our attachment to how people see us, to how people, meeting expectations, our attachment to things that happened in the past, right? Our attachment to needing to know. That is a huge one as well, which again, if we shift that to the next core 5, which is fascination, Jordan, with the curiosity of, instead of needing to know what happened, because this is how I felt as well when this guy ghosted me years ago, and I was like, what the hell? Because we really feel like we cannot move forward. We get curious and just be open to the feedback, but take what we want and then leave the rest. We don't make it mean anything about us. So it means to surrender control. When we can't let something go, it's because we are still holding on to an illusion of how we want things to be, right? Or an illusion of what we thought things should look like. And Jordan, like with Turning Point, right? It's like what we thought, what we wanted it to be. You wanted it to be good. And so we hold on to that illusion, which is totally understandable, by the way. Like, of course you did. But it's that release of, okay, I understand this is not what it's not going to look like, but it could look like something better. Give me this or something better, which this is something else you guys will learn how to do in, I think it's like week 2 or 3, or I think week 3. So we want things to be with a fear of uncertainty. Okay. So letting go doesn't mean we don't care anymore. Letting go of an expectation or a grudge is the first step to manifesting more abundance and be happy. It really is. It's the first step to truly doing it. Okay. So the next thing is we're fascinated, meaning curious, right? We want to just be curious about why was the rejection? Why did this happen? And just be curious about what happened, and then take whatever we want to take from that. The fourth is our imagination. I haven't finished all of this yet, so you guys, it'll be finished, but imagination. And this one is about activating our imagination, but also opening up to possibility, to things being different, to looking at things differently. That is, if we cannot imagine a different possibility or multiple possible things happening, then we're stuck on it needing to look one certain way, right? And then what does that do? That keeps us from being able to relax. That keeps us attached to our ego, right? That keeps us in lower vibrations to where we just cannot, we are in our wounds at that, there. Okay. And then the final one is documentation, right? Of documenting this. If you guys don't want to journal, that's fine, but get your phone out and use it as a journal. And when I say documentation and journaling, I mean, like, there's many different ways journaling looks like, and, it could just be a diary. But what I mean by this is that all of these experiences that we're having right now, that you're having, that you're going to find in, the next couple of weeks of the things that have happened, as a healer, because we're really, this program is wounded healer, from wounded healer to wild healer, right? That's really what the outcome of this program is. So the stories, the experiences, the interactions, the heartaches, the triggers, the things that are happening, this is all information that you're going to use moving forward. And as you hold space for people to heal, and as you are a leader, and I'm not meaning other people, I'm talking about even your family, your kids, your friends, just the people that you're around. We can't heal and expand and rise if we don't have interactions with other people. We're also here to break generational patterns, okay? That's what we're here to do. We're not here to keep things the same, especially when they hurt us. So we're here to break generational patterns. Therefore, we have to know what we have to know what we have broken, and honor that and acknowledge that in order for it to sink in as a code into our DNA, right? So, also with documentation, we have to measure. So like today, whether Jordan and Abby, I think Jordan definitely is going to be doing it. Abby, I'm not sure if we're going to move forward with this, but to know where we're at right now, and anybody watching this, because it's going to go into the portal as the first session to watch before you even go into the program. But you want to know where you're starting from, right? So from 1 to 5 right now, when it comes to being able to show up in your light, and stick to what you say you're going to do, where are you at right now from a 1 to 5? And you guys, you can either tell me, or you can just write it down, be like, this is where I'm at. Also, what is it you would like to get out of this experience, right? You guys are helping me create this program that I'm going to be taking people through over and over and over, and it's going to get better each time. But you guys are the ones that are really designing it, right? It's with whatever you're needing. Like, this is not a cookie cutter thing. This is what has tripped me up, to be honest, is like, I know everybody's in different places. People want different things. Now, there is a general guideline, right, of what I'm taking you through, but it is with your personal experiences. I want to dig deep into your personal thoughts and your specific desires and your specific triggers and things you can't overcome. Like, we're going to bring it all out, right? There is nothing is off limits when it comes to this, but we have to document that, or else guess what? It's just like losing weight. If we don't document where we start from, and we just eat less, right? And we're working out, but we don't document it, we don't notice a change, because it's so gradual. Same thing with, anything right now. I can't think of something, maybe cutting our hair or something. I used that the other day, of like, just how it's such a gradual, slow process that if you don't pay attention to it, and this is why healing, people can say, I don't think anything's happening. I don't know what to base things off of, because I don't think they're happening. Well, because you have to know where you start, right? And then we also have to acknowledge when we have to celebrate things when they happen. If we don't do that, of course we don't know. So that's where the documentation comes from, and that can look however you would like it. For me, it was also Facebook Live, right? That was also a document. How I documented was doing Facebook Lives. Okay, so that's the core 5. And you guys will, again, like I said, because you'll get each week, you'll get the part of this, or I might just give you I'll give you the workbook up front. I don't know what I'm going to do. Whatever I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens this week. Because I also it's going to be dripped out, right? Like a lot of times we want to we want to skip to the 4th week or whatever. Like, oh, that sounds really fun. And then just skip all of this other stuff when it's like, we have to do this work. It's like, yeah, it's what I skipped for a long time, and then it just held me up a little bit. So, all right, do you guys have any questions before we go into this meditation? Okay, and anybody watching the replay or in the portal, if you have any questions, you can just put them in the comments of underneath this video, or you can send me a Facebook message or whatever's easiest for you. Okay, so also, if you decide to do this program, which you're already here, so you have, but there's a couple frames too. I want to frame this. Janelle has heard this before. I don't know if Abby has or Jordan has, but we got to set up the frame, the mind of going into a program. Okay, so we have the responsibility frame. We have to take responsibility for everything that's happened up in our life up until today. Everything. This is a prerequisite to going into this work. It is taking responsibility, practicing radical acceptance, like I just said a minute ago, no judgment, nothing is good, nothing is bad, it is all information. And then self-forgiveness. We have to hold a space for forgiving ourselves for all of the stuff that we believe we have done wrong. Okay? So that's the responsibility frame. That's the pre-part. The second is the background to foreground frame. So we're going to be bringing things in from the background, right? Your subconscious mind into the foreground. We're going to be doing some hypnosis, meditation, and relaxation. That is the foundation of hypnosis, okay? Anytime you're relaxing, you're giving your brain, your subconscious a chance, like your conscious mind, to kind of fucking shut up and go somewhere. And all of the things that you don't feel every day is going to come to the foreground. Okay. This is where safety comes in, where to feel safe in the space. If you ever feel like you aren't safe, please let me know. Or if you ever, I still have an issue with, not an issue, but I still am working on this in group programs, to where the vulnerability, like I just cried in a group program yesterday in my office, in the group program that I'm in, because I was getting coached. And she's like, well, why do you think that? And it was about this program. And I'm like, I think I'm going to fail. And she was like, well, why? Why do you think that? And I was just like, it just all came out. And I was crying in my office, and I was like, because I won't be taken seriously by these psychiatrists around here and therapists, because coaching does not get and again, Janelle has saw this, where the work we do here in the Soul Relaunch, and just the spirituality and not the very clinical therapeutic psychology, they'll be like, oh, that work is fun. Okay, so anyway, I had the CEO say that to me like a year ago, and it stuck in my brain. And so I have this deep programming of, I'm not going to be taken seriously. That all came out yesterday in a group coaching program, because I felt held, I felt safe, I felt like I was in a container where I could be who I am and nobody was judging me. I was vulnerable. Yeah, it was amazing. But that is what can happen in a group program. That's why I just so badly wanted to do this, because it's just a different feeling. Okay. So the last one is the power of imagination, which I think all of you guys here are pretty good with that. That's the last frame of the power of imagination. It's just to know that we will be using that imagination a lot. Okay. All right. So just go ahead. Let's just take a deep breath. I know that was a lot of information, but I want you guys to have it all, and just so you can really prepare yourself for, and you can come back to this and you can listen to this entire thing again if you would like to, just to know of like, what is it that I really want to get out of this? And of course I'll have journal prompts and things I'm going to be giving you guys. So go ahead. If you have some incense, I'm going to light some sage, my cinnamon sage. I also have this flower agate that I have right here. I don't know. It's clear and it's got like, I think it's flower agate. I'm not sure, but Janelle, what are you working with over there?
White quartz, it looks like.
What is it? Oh, yes. I think, what is it? Quartz? Oh, I don't know. What is that?
I don't know. I love it though.
I know what it is, but it's not like, cause I have one like it, or I got one for David one time. And then Jordan, I have some petrified wood for you, because I know you said you got petrified wood from somewhere. So this is what you have, okay, buddy? I have one for you. So that's for you. And then Abby, whatever you have, if you're able, just let me know or type it or whatever, which I don't even know if I have the chat thing up. I don't even know where it's at. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. Now I can see it. Oh, Jordan. Okay. When you do add with wife. Oh, it was you guys talking to one another. Okay. All right. So just go ahead, you guys. You can close your eyes. Just take a deep breath. If you have any incense or anything, if you want to hold the crystal, which Jordan, I am just sending you this energy or this feeling of this petrified wood all in this space, and just know that this energetic work that we're going to do and the energy in this video will stay in this video forever, right? There's no space or time with energy. And just clearing the space. Taking a deep breath, have your feet on the floor. Feel the support underneath you. I think I'll go ahead and do this. And so just breathing in, your belly goes out, calling all your energy back to you from this week, or anyone you've handed it out to, any jobs, any people, any situations, any arguments that you've had.
All right, this is gonna.
And just seeing that light coming in as you take a deep breath in again, coming in your nose, going down your throat, down into your belly, and then just exhaling all that stale, stuck energy. And then I call in this high vibrational white light into the space that you're in. See it just creating this container around you, whether you're in a room or you are outside. It's completely fine. You could create the space, create the container just up the porch, down the sides of the walls, creating it just in your imagination, or in the room you're in, up the walls, up the ceiling, in the corners, whatever that looks like for you. I'm just seeing it to hold this higher, this just as high a vibrational light as you can. So as we breathe in, it gets brighter. And then as we exhale, it expands a little bit. And we could even take this out to just a little bit further. So we're just expanding our energy just a little bit more. So breathing in again, it gets brighter wherever this container is for you. And then exhale, it expands a little bit. And this is just your ability to expand the container you're able to hold, right? Your energetic capacity. And so I project white healing light into this space. I call forth the highest and the purest crystalline white light that is filled with the highest healing vibrations. And I see it as a sacred healing space for Janelle, for Abby, for Jordan, and for anyone else who's watching the replay. I ask that this space be surrounded by amazing white healing light, sealed as a sacred healing space. I call in our highest guidance, our highest angels and archangels, sacred healers and ascended masters, and allow our highest self to be present with us today. And you can just say that of I call forth my highest self today. I call forth my spirit team today. I call forth anyone that you're wanting to hold this space with. And so please allow us to receive everything that is needed from this session today. Please release all tension, all stress and strain from our body and our energy system on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. And fill every atom, every molecule. You can even see this this high vibrational light going from the top of our head down into the third eye, clearing, balancing, and aligning down through the crown, down into the throat, clearing, balancing, and aligning, down into the heart, down into the solar plexus, down into the sacral, to the root, and just filling up our entire body, down in our legs. I just want you to see your entire body filled up with this high vibrational light as it's clearing the space now. So please allow us to release any grudges, any resentment that we have with ourselves from the past. And any stories of rejection, of not being enough, and just any wounds that are wanting to come up during this time together, just letting it know that it is welcome in this space, with free of judgment, free of any criticism or any rejection. That this is a safe space for anything to come up that needs to come up, so we can clear it, rewrite it, and then integrate it into our system to move forward as our most authentic self. And so we're going to open up to the next levels of clarity and discernment. And please allow us to connect with that highest part of ourselves. And thinking about what is it that you're wanting? What guidance are you needing right now? Even just asking your guides, what is it? What's the guidance I'm needing in order for me to align and connect with my true self, my true essence? The one that's not depressed, the one that's not anxious or addicted or feeling stuck or lack of connection. What does that look and feel like for you? As they give us also the permission to unplug from the stressors in our life and to bring us to the next level of clarity and peace. As now, please pour a white healing light through our crown chakra and clear it. Clearing out the anger or the resentment with spirit, or resentment of our higher self, or whatever spiritual beliefs that you were raised with that maybe has never aligned, knowing that that's okay. And asking yourself, was that even true? Just asking, was it even true? The beliefs and the morals and the guidelines that I was taught from a religious standpoint, or maybe you weren't raised with any type of spirituality and you're just discovering what spirituality means for you. So just visualizing that light above your head. It could be lavender, it could be silver, just like whatever color it is for you. Just allow that to be there. And so we're going to fill this space in our crown with joy and passion and the feeling of being connected to source or to spirit or to our higher self. Just take a deep breath in. And now moving down to the third eye and clearing up both front and back. Even seeing that light that's just swishing around in the front of our third eye, going to the back of the third eye, just right at the occipital lobe, however you say that, down at the base of our skull, where our third eye, where our third chakra exists. Just clearing any stuck energy around not believing or having to see something to believe it. So clearing the lack of faith, clearing the lack of belief in our intuition. And also that just, giving our intuition credit, and that even connecting down with our solar plexus in the gut, right, of where that is connected, when we have that gut feeling that something isn't right, or that feeling that something is very right. What does that feel like for you? So just saying, I honor my intuition. Just take a deep breath. So we fill this space with the ability to connect with our intuition and to know our purpose. And now we're moving down to the throat, clearing front and the back. So clearing out any communication errors with other people, with ourselves. Now we're leaving behind the ability for us to speak our truth and to be seen. And so just see that light blue light at your throat, clearing, balancing, aligning with the third eye and the crown. And just saying, I speak truth. I speak with honesty. I am honest, whatever comes up for you there. And if you feel any resistance to I speak honesty or I speak truth, that's okay. Just know that it's energy just coming up to be released. Now we're going to move down into the heart chakra, and we're clearing both front and back. Clearing out the resentment from our past decisions that we're regretting, and knowing that we were doing the best that we could with the information we had at the time. And so we're clearing up any resistance or anger or shame or embarrassment around decisions that we've made that we wish we would have made differently. That is not possible. So we're just going to clear that out now. So seeing that green and pink, whatever comes up for you, which pay attention to what color comes up for you, because this is where your focus needs to be, right? If it's pink, it's really the relationship with yourself, clearing out the clutter from loving yourself, forgiving yourself. Or if it's green, knowing that you're ready to grow. You're ready to take that information and move forward with it. And so this is one way of your intuition, your higher self communicating with you, is through color. We're filling that space left behind in the heart chakra with the ability to both give and receive love, and to have loving thoughts about ourselves and have great, strong boundaries. Now moving down to the solar plexus, we're going to clear it front and back with that yellow light, clearing out that self-doubt, clearing out who we were yesterday, who doesn't serve us, clearing out what no longer serves us, of who we have been up until right now. The beliefs, the decisions, the expectations, the judgments, just clearing all of that out, seeing that light swishing around in that solar plexus as it starts to turn clockwise. And really just calling our power back, calling your power back from everywhere you've handed it out and placing it back into that solar plexus. You can do it physically, placing your hand right there, just knowing that as you say, it will happen. And we're going to fill the space left behind with the ability for us to trust ourselves, to be confident, and to have a passion for our life and for our purpose, to serve ourselves and then others. Now we're going to move down to the sacral. We're going to clear both the front and back with that orange color, clearing out the guilt and the shame, but also just holding space for whatever emotions come up, and knowing that you're building a relationship and a connection with your emotions through this process. They are allies. They are collaborators, if you want to look at them like that, of our soul communicating with us through our emotions. So what does that relationship look like? Clearing out what it has looked like in the past and how it has emotions have controlled your life, of how you spend your day, how you are in relationships, just taking the power back from those emotions, knowing that they're there to serve you and to support you in living as a human on earth and in this body, this soul in a human body. And so we're going to fill the space left behind with creativity, a sense of creativity, playfulness, and the ability to birth new ideas and to acknowledge your deepest desires. And now we're going to move down into the root chakra. We're going to clear it and connect it all the way down to the earth, in between your legs, kind of looking like a triangle. Connecting with the sacral, but to the root, and then a triangle down both legs, connecting with the earth, really pushing down any anxiety to transmute back into positive energy into the earth, and just releasing the uncertainty and the fear. And we fill the space left behind with the ability to feel connected to our body and of this world. Right. And then we're going to leave Janelle and Jordan and Abby and anyone watching this replay feeling centered and grounded. We're going to move the energy out through our feet and ground. We're going to align and balance our entire energy field now, and our auric field, going through all of the layers now. Setting up that shield. Sending the energy back up through the system, up the spine, up the Sushumna, into the heart, the throat, the third eye, and out the crown. Release all that does not serve you now. Taking 3 deep cleansing breaths. And then open your eyes whenever you're ready. And so it is. Oh, shoot. Nope. Jordan's off of here. It's okay. Abby, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that you were needed to come back in. It's okay. I'll send you the replay. Okay. Because, okay. So how do you feel, Janelle?
Woozy.
Woozy?
Yeah. Maybe it's my cabana.
In your cabana. It's even like different being outside doing this, I bet.
Yes. But I was able to block all the noise out.
Mhm. Yeah. Good
So
job.
I feel good.
Yeah. I think
I'm
that
going to see Jordan after this.
you're going to see Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going to take him. He needs to go to Turning Point and to get some instant coffee. So I told him I'd help him out.
Awesome. I love that you're doing that for him. Okay. Well, Abby, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that you needed to come back in, but I'll send this to you. And anybody who is wanting to do this, like, and you want, we can have a private conversation, or you can send me, we can have our own Zoom call. I would actually like to have a one-on-one with anybody that is going to be doing this, because I want to know how I can serve you, how I can show up the best for you guys, what information you're needing, what you're wanting to clear specifically. Just really setting up that intention before we go into this. Okay. So our call next Saturday will be at 10. I think right now we're just going to stick with 10 because I know a couple people are going to be coming in on the second week, but these are going to be here. Even if, like I'm showing up at 10 every Saturday. Well, I'll give you guys we're taking 1 week to integrate. Integration is so important, to take the information you learn and actually like apply it, and don't go any further. I think that's why I'm doing it this way, because I know my tendencies. I just like to learn. I know Abby and I share that. I know Janelle, I know you as well, but like I can really get stuck in the learning, right? And really just wanting to know more information. And that's why I really want to help you guys integrate it in any way so whatever that looks like. Okay. So today, your coaching task is, I want you guys, if you have not designed a value board yet, who has designed a value and belief board? Janelle, did you start to design one?
I started it. I didn't finish it.
Okay. So
Got my vision board, but not the value and belief
at the
board.
value and design. Okay. And that's okay. This is a good time to do it. We're 6 months in, right? You probably created that in what, January?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's great. Let's reassess those goals that you set, on that vision board. And I'll share my value board, my value and belief board that I created, but something where you can visually see these beliefs, these new concepts that you're wanting to integrate into your body. We have to see them all the time, which Abby, I think you might have one or might have created one too. But and even if you created one, like, let's revisit that. We're 6 months into this 2024. Let's like refresh all the things we're working towards, and we have to acknowledge, what have we accomplished, right? So like, I would love to know one thing. Well, I know what Janelle has accomplished. Her sessions are like, I'm like, so what went well this week? And it's just like 9 things, and I love that. But don't, it's not like she is all sunshine all the time, but to acknowledge those things that have really went well, and to really connect with that feeling of excitement and like, oh my God, I'm a badass. Like, this is insane. It's like that feeling, right? So to do that, and then listen to that to that clearing that we just did again, right? Of just going down through each of them. And also, we're going to be going up through them. Also, I like to go up through them to gain energy and then go down through them to kind of relax, like at night or something, right? That's usually how I do it. And then the belief, there is a belief, and I'll put this in the group, I think, or I'll send this to you guys, right? But there's a belief that, and you can put it on your value board. It's, I take my power back over my healing. This is so important. And I wish Jordan was still on here because he needs to hear this. I take my power back over my healing. This means any diagnosis or illness or story or anything that I have that is not who I am, right? It is not who I am, nor does it determine how I show up in my life, right? Any emotion either. I mean, you can take that into whatever you want it to be, but the basic thing is I take my power back over my healing and who I am. I decide who I am. Other people don't, and diagnoses and everything does not. Okay. So, all right, you guys, have a great Saturday. Thank you for being here with me today. And I will see you guys next Saturday at 10. Okay. Bye, guys.